Hi guys and welcome. Today we are going to be talking about why we should stop chasing prestige and Black excellence and some of the things that we should be striving for instead. For those of you new here, hello, my name is Vani, and here on this channel we talk about all of the things that we are learning and unlearning while living well and staying moisturized, because while earth can be ghetto, one thing we cannot be, sis, is ashy. So if this sounds good to you, please hit the like button. Let me know that you're here. Subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss another video. So speaking of things that we're kind of unlearning and learning in the world, I want to talk about something that we probably should be unlearning, which is the idea, which I like to call the cult of Black excellence. And just the fact that we have to have a ton of accolades to be seen as worthy in this world. And I thought about this quite a bit, especially in light of the Olympics, which, just passed a week or so ago. And this idea of us striving to work really hard. And, I think the US and China tied for like the most gold. If I'm mistaken, let me know in the comments. And a lot of our athletes, particularly our Black athletes, came home with a ton of medals. And I see this discourse online about Black excellence and striving to make it and being twice as good, but why? Why do we have to be twice as good? Why can't we just exist and be ordinary? And I don't get it. I don't get it because this idea to achieve and to strive and to be a part of Black excellence is killing us. And here's why. One of the reasons I believe Black excellence is killing us is because of chronic stress. We are so stressed out trying to achieve certain things, trying to live a certain lifestyle, and it is literally killing us, especially as Black women. We are under this chronic stress at the expense of our health, our happiness, our relationships. And for what? We're doing all of these things to be seen as worthy, but by who? By other Black people who have subscribed to the cult of Black excellence? By white people? And if we think about it, a lot of times Black excellence gets tied into this notion of working hard. And it's just like, okay, are we working hard? Are we working 50 to 60 to 70 hours a week at our jobs because we just absolutely love what we do? Or are we doing it to prove our worth to people who frankly don't care about us? Or are we working hard so that we can prove to our friends and family that we've made it, or to keep up with a lifestyle that, if we really think about it, we kind of don't want? Are we buying the luxury car because we really want to buy this car? Or are we doing it as an external market of validation, has to say, hey, look, I've made it and you can't tell me nothing, right? Because I have the Mercedes, I have the Lambo, I have the Porsche, and I'm good. And I want to preface by saying that there's nothing wrong with wanting material things. I love being inspired by fashion, interior design, and I love pretty things just as much as anyone else does. I think the problem is we acquire all of these luxury goods, and A, they don't really bring us any joy, and B, we don't really buy these things because we like them. We buy these things to show off to other people that we have made it somehow and that we are worthy of being treated better or having the things that we feel we should have. And I think the problem with the Black excellence is that we start to judge ourselves by standards that A, we never asked for, and B, once we think about it, we don't want, and it robs us of the autonomy of just thinking about what we want for ourselves, even and especially if it goes against the status quo. And I mean, as a former subscriber to Black excellence myself, and I'm definitely going to talk about it in this video, I've learned that it is okay to be ordinary. There is no point in killing ourselves just to prove to other people or to prove to white people or to prove to our family and friends that we are worthy and that we've made it. I feel like if you live on this earth in the year of our Lord 2024 and you live an ordinary life filled with joy and happiness, like, congratulations, like, you have literally made it. There are so many people that are trapped by golden handcuffs, that are trapped by their lifestyle, that are trapped in relationships, that are really, truly miserable and unhappy. And all for what? Just to have on, just to put on an air to say, like, look, I'm successful. I have the white picket fence and the 2.5 kids and the doting spouse and the big house and the luxury car. And it's just like, you're not happy. And like I said before, having these things doesn't mean that you're an unhappy person. I'm sure there are plenty of people who have the big house, the car, all those things, and they're happy. But for a lot of us, we're not. I think also we're very much tied, especially in the Black community, on this idea of legacy and leaving generational wealth and kind of like having all of these really big achievements before we die. And for what? Why? I the idea of legacy and generational wealth is a whole other video, but I think of it this way. We all have a legacy, whether we know it or not. Your existence on this earth has impacted so many people in such a positive way. You don't even have the idea of the impact, the depth, and the breadth of your impact in this world, living as an ordinary person. And I think the idea of legacy and generational wealth really robs us of the beauty of knowing that, like, our existence on this earth alone, us being ourselves, we've already changed the world in ways that we will know and ways that we will never know. And for me, like, if I die leaving this earth knowing that I didn't accomplish things according to the Western standard, but I know that in this short and unpredictable life that I had, I squeezed all the love, the joy, the freedom, and adventure, I would have lived well. That's a good life to me. And if I am able to do that, and I will, I'm not going to say if, it will happen, I'm manifesting it. I would have done a lot better than like 95% of people on this earth, regardless of socioeconomic status. All right, guys, so before I get into how I broke out of the cult of Black excellence and some of the things that I'm striving for instead, please let me know in the comments below, what are some of the things that you were told you needed to have in order to make it? So, for example, for me, it's having a house, right? So many people preach home ownership, especially when you become an adult. And to be honest with y'all, I don't want a house. I don't want to have the responsibility of owning a home. I know people talk about having equity and building wealth through your home. I'm okay. I'm okay with living in an apartment. So tell me, what are some ways that you have defied traditional markers of adulthood? Let me know below. As a former cult member of Black excellence, I think the pandemic has with a lot of us, right? It forced us to reevaluate our goals and kind of get underneath the why of the things we were striving for. So for me, I always thought that I will have like a director, VP level, C-suite job, working at a company, have the beautiful apartment, have the luxury car, have it all. But the more that I worked hard and strove for those things, the less and less happy I became. I remember having a job that like literally made me sick from stress. I remember just working really hard, trying to prove to like coworkers and superiors that like, look, I'm a good worker. I'm gonna stay up late 3-4 days a week and do work that like honestly does not really matter. And I was killing myself inside and out. And the pandemic forced me to realize that I don't want a high ranking, high status job. I want the nice apartment, trust me. Like, I want the duplex apartment with the rooftop. And do I want a luxury car? Maybe. But I had to get underneath my why. And for me, I did this by listing all of my goals out and asking myself what those goals meant for me. So, one of my goals, I mentioned having a high status job. Um, I wanted the money that came with a high status job, right? But I had to ask myself, what does having more money mean to me? I visualize myself with more money. What am I doing with that money? Where am I going with that money? Who am I helping? Who am I supporting? For me, having more money meant that I had the financial flexibility to take a break for as long as I wanted without any financial consequences. It meant contributing to my community, helping out my family without it burdening my personal finances. It meant traveling more often and having the opportunity to travel deeper and stay in destinations that I really love for a little bit longer so I can absorb the culture more. And once I realized that, yes, I do want the money. I don't want the stress that comes with the money. Then the next step is like, okay, what are some things that I can do that I really enjoy that will make me money, that would get me towards that lifestyle, right? Because for me, money was a conduit. It is a conduit to flexibility, to freedom, and to, in some ways, yes, joy, right? The joy of being able to do the things that I want to do without burdening myself financially. Um, Another one of my goals was entrepreneurship. And I had to think to myself, okay, are we going to be an entrepreneur because of the clout? Or am I looking to escape the monotony of the 9 to 5 grind? Am I looking to have more autonomy in my life in terms of the people I get to work with and whether I like them or not? And once I thought about that, I was like, you know what? Entrepreneurship is for me. I've had plenty of 9 to 5 jobs before, and I'm definitely going to talk about that in a video about my very interesting entrepreneurship journey. But I wanted to be an entrepreneur because I knew that yes, I'll be working hard, but also the freedom and autonomy that it would give me in working with the people that I wanted to work with was priceless. So after I thought about some of the goals that I had and kind of getting underneath that why, I asked myself, okay, what should I be striving for instead? And for me, instead of those being kind of like tangible material things, which is also fine, right? You can have tangible goals as well. I really want to think about adjectives. Like, what did I want my life to embody? If I was old and sitting on my deathbed, how do I want to think about my life? What are some of the adjectives that I want my life to be? And for me, it was freedom, joy, and peace. And during the pandemic, I got to work on some of those goals and ask myself, okay, what are some ways I can achieve freedom? What are some ways I can achieve joy? And what are some ways that I can achieve peace? And for me, since 2020, everything that I've done has kind of like fallen into one of those three adjectives. And if you are looking to build a life that you really want as well, I really encourage you to do this. Just really think about how you want to live your ideal life. All of the words that you want your life to embody. Is it joy? Is it freedom? Is it flexibility? Is it fun? You can have all of those things. And doing that exercise really helped me to think, okay, if I take on a project, if I meet a new person, if I have a new experience, does this experience fall into the freedom category, the joy category, or the peace category? I mean, there's also other adjectives I have, like fun and all the other great stuff. But those are my three main words that I use. I put up 10, but y'all know what I mean. It's three. And, back in 2020, my life did not embody freedom, joy, and peace, but I wanted it to. And so in doing this exercise, think about the adjectives in your life. Well, let me backtrack. Think about the adjectives that you want your life excuse me, and be honest with yourself. Does your life right now embody that? And if the answer is yes, great. If the answer is no, that's also great, because you know why? Now you're able to work on having the life that you want, because I think a lot of times, especially as Black women, we get caught up in all of the isms of the world. And those isms are very valid. I'm not here to tell you that they're not, because they absolutely are. But I also think that we forget that we have a high degree of control over our lives. We do have a certain degree of autonomy. And of course, it depends on socioeconomic status and, other factors as well. But we have a lot more autonomy than we think. We have a lot more in terms of freedom of choice than we think. And I really, really, really want us to embrace this so much, because life is hard, right? Life be lifing, but there are so many ways to extract joy out of this life on a consistent basis. And I feel like us as Black women, we don't really tap into that. And we really need to. And I'm really proud of myself that over the last 4 years, I have worked on, and in many ways have achieved, the life of my dreams. Now, I'm not saying that my life is perfect, not by any stretch of the imagination. And I've had challenges. My goal, I really want to make a healthy 6-figure amount. And let me tell y'all, I got champagne taste on a happy hour margarita budget. So we're not quite there yet. But I know that in the past, I have been able to make a good amount of money while having peace. So I know I can do it again. And I just want to say that if you also have certain goals that you want to hit in life, there are less things preventing you from hitting that goal than you think. For example, if you ever wanted to backpack, I don't know, across Tibet, stand on business. Go backpack. And I'm not saying pack up your bags tomorrow and book a flight somewhere and go to Tibet. But what I'm saying is start somewhere, work backwards. If your goal is backpacking to Tibet in 2026, what are some things you can do in 2024 to help you achieve those goals? Is it putting $50 aside every month? Is it talking to your friends and asking them to hold you accountable to your goals, and asking them hey, can we meet every month or every quarter so we can talk about our goals and how we're doing, what we're doing to achieve them? There are so many ways that we can utilize the community around us to hit our goals collectively, right? And I want us to really think about that and embrace the fact that despite Earth being ghetto and despite lifing, there is so much that we can do today to build our dream life. There are so many things that we can do right now to embody our dream life in many ways, right? We don't have to wait for our dream lives. We can create that today, right now, as you're watching this video. And I really hope that you do. Black women, we deserve joy. We deserve peace. We deserve happiness. We deserve all the things that everyone else has on this earth. And it'd be a shame if we left this earth without knowing that, and most importantly, without sitting in that power and knowledge and doing something about it. I just want to let y'all know that you have the power to alter the course of your life 1,000% in a million big ways and tiny ways. And if you don't have anybody in your corner, sis, I'm rooting for you. I'm here for you 100%. let's go out there, let's chase the life of our dreams, let's get the life of our dreams, because it is entirely possible. Thank you guys so much for taking the time today and watching this video. And let me know in the comments below, what are some of the things that you want in your dream life? And there are no and wrong or right answers here. Like, if in your dream life you want a Lamborghini, let me know. If in your dream life you want to bop around the earth, let me know. I will love to know your dreams and support them. So if you like this video, please hit the like button obviously, and subscribe so that you don't miss any of my videos. And thank you again for watching this. Until next time, love you guys. See you soon. And let's go out here and chase our dreams. All right, guys. Bye.